Hey, howdy, hey, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I am back, and for today's video, I'm going to be reviewing RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 3, Episode 2. So if that sounds good to you, make sure to hit that like button, comment down below what you thought about this episode, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Come join the Amateur Hour community. And without further ado, let's get this video started. Alright. So obviously for today's video, I'm going to be reviewing episode 2 of Drag Race UK. This obviously was the exercise episode, where it's basically a Peloton commercial, but not Peloton. I forget what the word was. It was an interesting challenge, let's put it that way. Obviously this was a hour-long episode, and we had some stuff to discuss. So, let's get right on into it. Obviously, the episode starts out with the queens walking back into the workroom after the elimination of Anubis, and they're all discussing their thoughts on the elimination, their thoughts on the season starting, obviously, and where things are going ahead. Obviously, right from the start, Victoria is not included with everyone else at the start, because it does seem like Victoria, had an injury, potential injury, from the lip sync last week, where she was obviously lip syncing against Crystal Versace. A potential knee injury. And it's very clear to me, at least from the beginning of this episode, that this is going to be kind of something that they're going to continue to bring up throughout the episode. And I could easily see this storyline playing out where they're going to be like, oh, Victoria, you're going to have to leave. I'm sorry. Open invitation season 4. Who knows? Obviously, I hope Victoria didn't have to leave this competition. We'll have to wait and find out next week, but we'll get to that later. But we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, so Victoria comes back in. They're talking about everything and getting ready for the next day, basically. There's not too much else I want to talk about in this part, because honestly, a lot of it was just them getting on drag, talking, the normal thing, you know. So obviously we are going to get into the next day in the workroom, where the queens all walk in, they gather around the table, again, you continue to talk. Crystal has her badge, and yeah, they talk, and then RuPaul comes up and introduces the mini challenge, where she's going to have Crystal going around in a fake grocery store, finding little stickers to assign to people for different accolades, I guess is the way you could describe it. I'm not sure, they're little slogans to attach to different people. She decides to assign Veronica as, like, last year's old seasoned queen, basically. Victoria's biggest competition. Elektra is basically the next one to go. Things like that. It was an okay mini challenge. I don't know. I like the mini challenges where they incorporate more of the other queens. And I felt like, I'm not a big Crystal fan, if I'm being honest. Don't get me wrong, I think her drag is gorgeous. I just don't necessarily click very well with her personality on the show. The way she presents herself, I guess, is the best way I can describe it. I don't know, maybe that's just me. There's just something about Crystal that I'm kind of like, you're cool, but also, like, not my type of drag, I guess. I don't know. So Crystal assigned all of those things, and then at one point she says to Victoria, oh, I just chose you because you're the biggest. It's not because you're the biggest competition or something like that. And like, listen, it is 2021. Aren't we past these jokes? Haven't we moved past this? Aren't we at a point where our humor should be at a new level, you know, where we make more clever jokes, honestly? I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below about the mini challenge. But that happened. Then RuPaul assigns all the queens into 3 different groups. We have the first group, which of course is the cycling group. Then we have the ball busters group. And of course the exercising moms group, I guess is the way you would describe them. It was an interesting groups. Obviously the cycling group is Teresa, Vanity Milan, and Elektra Fence. The ball buster group is Victoria, well, not Victoria, Veronica Green, Kitty Scott Claus, River Medway, and Crystal Versace. And then the final group, obviously, is going to be Charity Case, Victoria Scone, Ella Vidae, and Scarlett Harlot. So those are the groups. They're all getting assigned. They all start going over things and what they're going to do, discussing outfits, doing the thing. Then RuPaul does a walkthrough. RuPaul talks to each of the groups. I don't really remember too much of this, if I'm being honest. It was fine. Again, it's a normal walkthrough in my opinion. There was one point when Ru talks to Victoria about the thing Crystal said. But honestly, I get it. But also I'm like, can we stop having these conversations? I don't know. It's important to have these conversations. But at the same time, I feel like it's so repetitive that I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit negative here. Maybe that's just me. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. But it was an okay walkthrough, I guess. Nothing really crazy happens. I don't know. Then I'm going to go ahead and get to... Oh, wait, no. We do have the choreo. They all do choreo with the guest judge. Again, I really liked the guest judge this week. She was super sweet, and I think she was a really fun personality to have on the judging panel. And I think she did a really great job doing the choreo. Again, some of the queens struggle, like you would expect for a normal choreo. Obviously, not everyone's going to be great. Victoria's realizing that she's not going to necessarily be able to do all that she would normally be able to do as a dancer because of her knee injury. So that is becoming very evident to Victoria and how she's going to have to sort of acclimate the challenge to her current abilities with this injury. So she's trying her best to figure out how to proceed and how to do that all. The choreo overall happens. Veronica's having fun. A lot of the queens are having fun, and then you have queens like Crystal, who isn't super comfortable as a dancer, and you also have queens like Choriza, who's not a dancer. But then at the same time, you have queens like Vanity and Electra Fence, who are like, oh, we're dancers, we know what we're doing, we're ready to do this type thing. I don't know. It was an interesting challenge. Now we're going to get to the next day in the workroom where the queens are all getting ready. Crystal and Victoria begin to talk about things, and Crystal apologizes to Victoria about making those jokes the other day about her weight and how that was uncalled for. And then we have a full-on discussion about body image and how everyone perceives themselves. Everyone really gets involved in this, and it was honestly a really lovely conversation to listen to. Talking a lot about self-love, and how people are more than what they are just on the outside, and I think that was a very nice conversation to have. I really enjoyed it. Getting to know more about Victoria was really nice too. I loved getting to hear more of her story. Victoria Scone, honestly, this episode, I fell in love with Victoria Scone more and more. Same with Vanity. Vanity Milan is honestly one of my favorite queens on this season, and I think this episode was such a good episode for her. She was able to just really show us who she is, and I really enjoyed that. Also, Choriza, I think Choriza is a phenomenal queen this season, and I'm really enjoying her on this cast. So that whole conversation happens, and then Victoria wraps it up by saying, oh, what a lovely conversation, what a great way to end it all, especially after those reads that Crystal did or whatever. I thought that was a funny little jab at the end to have that Crystal. I thought that was nice. I don't know. Now we're going to get to the actual Peloton but not Peloton commercial thing with the different groups, and I'll talk about it. First group obviously was the bicycle group, the cycling group, where Choriza had a lot of fun, and you could tell Choriza was having fun being a big personality. Vanity I thought did pretty well, and honestly I thought Electra was okay. Not the best, but not the worst. Overall the group was a little bit messy, I will say. I don't think they were very cohesive together, and I think that's where a lot of their problems came in, or at least that was the story the judges were telling us. But overall I didn't think it was bad. I was just kind of bored, if I'm being honest. I don't know, maybe that's just me. The next group obviously was the Ballbusters group with Veronica, Kitty, River, and of course, I believe it was Scarlett in that group. I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, the group was fine. It was a lot. They were very high energy, which I realize is what the challenge called for, and especially in that group. I get it, but it was a lot to take in. I'm not saying it was bad by any means. I just don't necessarily think it's been my favorite challenge. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite challenge. Then we get to the final group, obviously, which is the Hot Mommies challenge, where we have Veronica, Ella Vidae, or no, not Veronica, Victoria, Ella Vidae, Charity Case, and Scarlett Harlot? Or Scarlett? I don't remember. There were 4 people in that group. Anyways, that group was fine. I was probably the least entertained by that group, if I'm being honest. It just felt very short, and it was kind of like, eh. Again, most of this challenge was kind of for me. I don't know if that's just me. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. Now we're going to get to the runway, which of course was red carpet realness, basically, where all the queens had to wear gowns for a red carpet type thing. I'm going to go over some of my favorite looks and some of the looks that were kind of disappointing. Overall, none of the looks were terribly exciting, if I am being honest. Especially after last week with some of the looks that we got, like for Victoria. I do feel like this week was a little bit, not a letdown, but not as exciting as last week was. We had some really nice looks, of course, but then we had some looks that were kind of like, some of the looks obviously were Electra Fence. I thought this was honestly just swallowing her up. She didn't have anything, any belt or something. I think that could have helped give the body more shape versus just swallowing her all up. Then, of course, we have, who else do I think struggled a little bit? They were saying that Vanity Milan struggled. I don't necessarily agree with that, but maybe that's just me. I like this outfit. I thought she looked nice. I don't know. I really enjoyed Kitty Scott Claus's look. I thought she looked really cute. Veronica's look was not very exciting to me. Veronica Green's look, I don't know. Maybe I'm expecting too much from Veronica, and maybe that's a problem. I'm not sure. I've just been kind of disappointed, if I'm being honest. I don't know. It was an okay runway. Some of the looks were good. I really liked Charity Case's look. I thought Charity Case looked really great. I thought River Medway looked really, really nice as well. If you want a more in-depth fashion review, make sure to tune into my channel later this week. I'm not sure what day it will be out, but I will be getting that out, hopefully. The fashion review, of course. And honestly, that was about it for the runway. Like, it was a fine runway, not the most exciting. Challenge, not the most exciting. Overall, this episode, not the most exciting, I will say. It wasn't the worst. But I do feel like it could have been changed a little bit, if I'm being honest. Now we get to the final critiques, where we find out who the tops and the bottoms of the week are. Obviously, the tops this week are going to be Veronica Green, Kitty Scott Claus, and Crystal Versace. And then the bottom 3 is going to be, Electra Fence, Charity Case, and Vanity Milan. For me, I personally would have picked a different top 3. My top 3 would have been Kitty Scott Claus. I also really enjoyed Theresa May. I thought Theresa was great this week. And I also probably would have put Theresa, Kitty, and let's just put Ella Vidae. I don't know. I think the top 2 ultimately for me was Theresa and Kitty. But they decided this. Oh well. Obviously, in the end, the winner this week was Crystal Versace. So congratulations to Crystal for winning your 2nd week in a row. I personally wouldn't have picked her as the winner, but still congratulations to Crystal. 2 badges. Good job. Then we find out that the bottom 2 is going to be Electra Fence and Vanity Milan. So that means Charity Case is safe for another week. So they do a lip sync. Overall, I think for this lip sync challenge, Vanity wore her out. I don't think there is any way that anyone can argue that Electra won that, if I'm being honest. Electra was just trying all the stunts, and it didn't necessarily fit with the song, and I thought Vanity was really in the song, in the moment, performing, and I really enjoyed that. And the end of the song, Electra jumped off the stage, even after apparently production told her that they didn't want her to do that. So that happened. Overall, though, this week, I will say it wasn't my favorite episode. Obviously, in the end, Electra fans did sashay away. So goodbye to Electra. I'm sorry to see her go. But I do think she had a good time on this season. And I think she did a really great job. In the end, though, we do find out that RuPaul calls up Victoria as well. And says, Victoria, we've been on the phone with your doctors. You're going to need more medical evaluation before continuing on with this competition. So they left it pretty open as to whether or not Victoria is going to continue on with the competition. Obviously, for next week's episode is a design challenge in the commercial for it. They didn't show Victoria at all, but then again, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But I am nervous for Victoria because Victoria was one of my favorites in this season, and if she does leave, I'm going to be really sad. So, that does bring me to the end of my review. Like I said in all my videos, do not send hate to any of the queens mentioned in these videos, because that's not what they're meant for. They're just meant for us to have a fun time here on the internet and talk about all things Drag Race. My birthday is coming up. My birthday is October 6th, and I will be doing a YouTube live for my birthday. I'm not sure what time yet. Please leave a comment down below if you're anytime that works for you. It might be around 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see. But I do want to do a YouTube live because I haven't done one of those in a long time. I think that'd be fun. So, that does bring me to the end of my review. Make sure to hit that like button if you liked it. Comment down below what you thought about this episode. Comment down below what you want to see on my channel and any of the above. Hit that subscribe button. I'm sorry I haven't been around very much lately. I've been in a weird place. I'm trying to get better. We'll make it work. Like this video, comment, share, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at @SammonshireHour. And I will see you guys back here, hopefully tomorrow for another video. Bye, guys!